Formula One icon Michael Schumacher has recently been the subject of an in-depth Netflix documentary about his life and career. Within the documentary, named Schumacher, the seven-time world champion detailed dealing with a heart-stopping crash at the height of his success. In the new Netflix documentary, Schumacher recalled his horrific crash at the British Grand Prix in 1999. At the start of the race, Jacques Villeneuve and Alessandro Zanardi both stalled on the grid and forced a race restart. The German's Ferrari had suffered a brake failure and forced him to crash out at Stowe Corner with his F399 hurtling at speed into a barricade. The front wheel had smashed the cockpit and it was still stuck somewhere in there, Schumacher recalled on the documentary. I couldn't get out, and I was trying to pull my leg out, which was trapped. So I'm lying there and notice that I'm calming down a bit, and suddenly I feel my heartbeat becoming slower and slower, until suddenly it stops completely. And I think, this is probably how it feels when you're on your way upstairs. His wife Corinna, who has been married to since 1995, was horrified when she watched the crash happen on television. She said, I remember I was at home and he waved from behind all those sheets to tell us, hey, everything's all right. That was a moment when I thought, oh my God, but on the whole, we'd always made it through his races safely, which is why I was certain he had a few guardian angels that were keeping an eye out for him. The crash left Schumacher with a broken leg which he wouldn't recover from until the Malaysian Grand Prix. However, the star went on to win the next 5 world titles to become a 7-time champion, the most in the sport's history alongside Lewis Hamilton. The highly anticipated documentary about Schumacher's career landed on Netflix on September 15. It was released on the 30th anniversary of Schumacher's F1 debut and followed the astounding journey of the star. The documentary was the first one his family and friends have been interviewed for since his devastating skiing accident in 2013. Schumacher, now 52, sustained a severe brain injury during the accident in the Swiss Alps, and his loved ones have kept his condition extremely private ever since. The accident occurred when he was skiing down an unsecured area of terrain, where he fell and hit his head on a rock. Despite wearing a helmet, the star had to spend more than 250 days in hospital before he could return to his family home in Geneva, Switzerland. The F1 champion has remained there ever since and has to be cared for around the clock.